Hello and welcome to BFFs Wine and Tell, our spicy, saucy, and sassy podcast on life and its many myriad experiences.
Told through the eyes of two besties who have probably seen it all.
Love, heartbreak,
Success, failure.
loneliness, companionship, you name it.
We talk life, but we make it light.
So come along with us on this journey. You will laugh,
You may wipe a tear or two.
but you'll most definitely say,
Oh man, I can totes relate to that.
oh, by the way, what's your color of choice?
Huh?
Wine, I meant red or white. Bring a glass or a bottle along, babe,
And grab your bestie.
because the fun has just begun. So like, subscribe, and share with your besties. Cheers! Hello and welcome to the very first episode of our podcast, BFFs Wine and Tell, a spicy, saucy, sassy podcast with two besties who have seen it all, haven't we?
So excited.
I know, right? Oh my God, how many years has this been in the making, Rosie? Or should I call you Love? I don't know what to call
2
you.
years.
Oh, wow. I know. So we should introduce ourselves first. Okay, she is Priorities. I am Dipashree, and this is my best of all friends for I don't know how many years now, 15 or 16.
You are better at dates.
I know. I am
time.
better at most things. This is my bestie Lavania, and thank you so much for joining us for the very first episode of this podcast that we call BFFs Wine.
We are doing it and tell it all.
We tell it all. All right. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself, and then we will get into why this podcast among so many podcasts and why now?
Introduce myself. Where do I start?
You?
So, my name is Lavania, and I am actually a mom of two. Beautiful
Can't
kids.
tell. I know. The kids are beautiful. I mean, they are my godchildren after all.
Yeah.
Lala.
Also married a wonderful man. Please roll your eyes now. And
I do not do that in public. He is wonderful.
and I'm a serial entrepreneur. So I run two businesses. One is Dance Embassy, which is my bread and butter.
Yeah.
And the reason how you met me.
Yes.
And I've been running that for 15 years now. So I teach dance, fitness, and wellness programs in corporates. And mostly in corporates, we have individual and group classes as well. Weddings, birthday parties, you name it, we do it. And the other one, I call it my passion project because I'm very passionate about helping women, especially introverted women like me. A lot of them will
I
beg
know we
to
can
differ.
tell you're so introverted. I can't even get the word out when it comes to you.
I am. So I am passionate about helping introverted women to put themselves and their business out there. And that company is called Tinted Whatever.
Correct.
It's 6 years right now with Tinted Whatever. I started it when my son was born. And yeah, that's pretty much about me.
She's amazing, as you can tell. I've seen both her businesses, being born, become like toddlers, and then now just like amazing businesses that mean a lot to a lot of people and to me as well. So grateful to have been small part of both of these businesses. As for me, currently a corporate slave. I've learned a lot. I have a fairly challenging job. And besides doing that, I do hopefully a lot of fun stuff, mostly with her. We do this podcast. I have a couple of other passion projects on the side. I'm super passionate about bringing more women into the corporate workforce. Irrespective of what you hear, there just aren't enough of us. Definitely not at the top, just about 10%. In the US and around the world, less than 5%. So that doesn't look good. As long as I'm there, I want to change it. I want to bring more women and I want to support them be a true ally. I try and mentor young kids, young career professionals. Hopefully they find their way to craft a dream career, which is really not easy in today's day and time, given how tough the world has become. And yeah, I'm married to this super wonderful man. She's not going to roll her eyes because she really likes him as well. He is a friend. has been a friend for now 15 years and husband for 2 years now, a little more than 2 years.
Yeah, give me some credit also.
And yes, she saw it. She was one of the first to call it. And she said, you are really missing it by making all the wrong choices. That is the right choice. And 10 years back when she told me that, I was like, no, he's a friend. Here we are. We actually, it was during COVID and I was in India at my stint at that point of time with Netflix. And we got talking and I saw a reel of Halle Berry and her bestie sitting on a couch and just what would seem talking about fairly harmless, meaningless stuff. But as I listened, and it was a short reel, it was a short conversation, it just drew me in. And I remember calling you and telling you, saying, it would be so nice if we could do that someday, right? And fast forward to like last year when we started really putting some thought into it. And it took a lot of time really to just match schedules, conceptualize this, come up with the name, come up with the wine, right? I mean,
birthing kids.
That took a lot of time, yes. About 9 months, give or take a few. Finding a new job to come back to Singapore, all of that aside. So we are here on the first episode.
Here.
I know. I mean, my God. Why do we call it BFFs Wine and Tell, do you think?
BFFs, Wine
and Tell.
and Tell.
Okay.
I mean, it's a perfect name, don't you think?
I know. Guess who came up with it?
Okay. Kudos. Now make us some successful episodes now.
Okay, let's do it. So for all the listeners and the viewers, obviously this is the first time you're seeing us. So we want to tell you why you should come along on this journey, right? We are super fun people to be, as you can
we
tell.
are going to be your BFFs.
We hope so. We really hope so. And
Who will reject us?
not many people.
No.
Not you for sure. No one rejects you. I have faced rejection a couple of times in my life. No? Haven't I? Okay. So, but in all seriousness, we really thought about it and we said, there are so many podcasts today. Does the world need another podcast? And then we said, can we make this into a really safe space for women to talk about, to listen to issues that very often don't get enough airtime, right? Like, it is such a tough time to be a woman, and yet at the same time, such an exhilarating time to be a woman, right? The opportunities today our mums never had, but the challenges today our mums never had either. So how do you navigate being a woman in today's times? You do that by having a bestie. So what if besties got together and talked about stuff that mattered? And what if you as besties got together and listened to the stuff that mattered? What if together we created like a living room of safe experiences, partially virtual because you're not here with us, but partially very real because you can reach out to us on social media, you can comment, you can like, you can share.
Yeah, actually I was just about to talk about social media because I think I share more vulnerable issues on my social media. And
you
the
do.
number of women that I wouldn't have thought had or has problems reaching out to me and saying, can we meet for coffee? I need to talk to you about this topic that you shared about on social media. And to me, I feel like that's the power of social media, and I want to use it more for good.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's not a huge potential, but a huge opportunity for women to use social media for good.
I love that.
Not just aesthetic purpose, you know.
Yeah.
It's for helping women to influence them to do positive changes to their lives.
Yeah.
And my dream, and I'm sure we will fulfill that through this podcast, is to reach out to more women through any channels that we can use.
Yeah.
And of course, thankfully, my bestie is a marketing genius.
I mean, just a little short of a genius, but okay. But I love that. I actually, you put it so beautifully. I couldn't have. I think social media has all kind of ills, right? And sure, if you want to use it for aesthetics, go ahead. But I love what she said. We really hope that you can think of this podcast as something you come back to every time you want inspiration, every time you want to be refreshed. Think of us as that, that nice cup of tea or glass of wine you have at the end of the day, right? Oh my God, right? Oh,
Drink.
Okay. Before that, we should drink. And we just to tell you a little bit more about what she said is absolutely right. Women may be more vocal, and it may seem to us that we are posting a lot more, but 100% I think you all will agree that we are still a lot more hesitant. We are still taking our very first steps into becoming brave and vulnerable at the same time, right? Which is why, honestly, if you ask me, we need more and more of these forums.
Yeah.
Right?
And you don't have to walk it alone.
Yeah, exactly. So at this point, of course, I wanted to provide some research, guys, because, as a marketer, you have to be very data driven. So in preparation for this podcast, I did look up a lot of research around why my life with her in it and with our band of really close girlfriends in it has been so much better. I mean, sure, we'll talk about it through the course of the podcast, but I can tell you that there were times that I wouldn't have made it if not for her. There were times when...
Vice versa.
Yeah, but I literally remember there being this one day where you came and said, you stood outside what was then a shared apartment because that's all I could afford. And you stood outside and said, come down, I'm waiting. I will take you and get you out of this misery that you are in right now. And we will not talk about that misery yet because I know we will talk about it later. That's who girlfriends and best friends are to you, right? You need to find that tribe. And I know one of our episodes will talk about finding a tribe. So this research, actually, this is a Forbes article, very happy to share that link. I just want to quickly read out a couple of key points. And it's verbatim quoted. I'm not making it up. It says, it's no surprise that hanging with your girlfriends is good for your mental and physical health. Although you probably don't need proof because you feel it yourself, right? Studies demonstrate the benefits of friendship in these areas. Research confirms that socializing, idly with wine, I added that, improves your happiness and positivity. It helps you deal with stress and calms you down. Now, here's the kicker. Some experts recommend that you spend time with your girlfriends. Guess how many times a week?
Twice.
You read the research, didn't you? Okay, yes, they do say twice a week. Now, this may not be possible with your schedule, kids, work, and everything. However, weekly and sometimes daily check-in calls are important, which is why you have FaceTime, Zoom, and have become a lifeline, especially... No excuse. So when people say, and you know who those people are, you are people. When people say, oh, I haven't met my best friend in 3 months, 4 months, and you live in the same city, I'm like...
How?
Do you go to the toilet? I'm not saying meeting your best friend is like going to the toilet, but it's a need, right?
It's a need.
How do you not meet your friend? She and I both know that the day we meet, we just feel lighter, better, happier, more drunk.
Yeah, and some people still want to work.
I do have to work. Like, how's the bread and the wine gonna come then? That's true. At this point, we should do a shout out for our very kind sponsors.
Yeah.
For this absolutely ravishing red wine. Like, I have no words.
I have no words. And you were not even planning to drink.
Yeah, I wasn't
wine.
because, my history with red wine isn't very good. So I will leave you to do the shout out
introduction. Because of my limited French vocabulary.
Married to a French man. So
this is
Spanish wine.
Yeah. This is Flor de Mocha. This wine has been aged for 6 months in French oak barrels. Bodegas Morca is located in the village of Borja in the province of Zaragoza, Spain.
Ooh la la. I don't know. I don't know.
I sound sexy?
Almost. Yeah, there. Cheers. Very sexy. How to say
Salud.
Say salud. Okay. It's lovely Spanish wine.
It is really so
it
good.
Is,
it's not
guys,
because it's our sponsor that we're saying like nice things about it, but
thank you so much to our sponsors. It's a family-owned estate. We love supporting those kind of businesses.
Thank you. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Next, looking for outfit sponsor. All right. Okay, getting back. We actually we'll talk to you about what kind of topics we will talk about, but really, this is a platform for us to talk about and for you to join in and talk about issues and life experiences, defining life moments, not just the happy ones, but the disasters as well, right? The traumas and the triumphs and the journey from there. God knows you and I have had our share of those, my goodness. Relationships. And then talk about all of it in a safe, friendly, no judgment space. Right? I think we hold that for each other. You have made many disastrous life choices. You have tried to prevent me from many disastrous life choices, and yet I don't think you ever judged me for it. Yeah, I did judge you for a split second for not bringing the bottle opener today, but I was like, okay, mum brain.
I always have a solution.
Which is get me to get the bottle opener?
AKA also can do Grab. Maybe Grab should sponsor this episode now.
Yeah. So the way we want you to think about this, like I said, is as you're listening, grab your bestie, grab a bottle of wine, and as if the two of you are just sitting on a couch and pouring your heart out.
Yeah.
That's what we'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, feel free to tag us. Take a video, take a photo, tag us. We really would love to see the faces of our listeners or viewers.
Yeah.
And connect with y'all, because we are not just people you can listen to. We are people that you can connect with as well.
Yeah. And you're so much more vulnerable on social media than I am. I think I have this...
it took me a while. It took me a while to put myself out there.
Yeah, but I am very corporate in my image, and there is that requirement. I get it. I'm told that even though I'm corporate, I'm authentically corporate. I'm not as corporate as others, but I can try and probably be a little more accessible, maybe on...
You are much more friendlier than me, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Must be the wine.
But you are approachable, you are friendlier, and I'm sure your colleagues will say the same about you.
Yeah, they do actually. Should we then talk a little bit about what topics we will talk about, just to give our lovely listeners an idea of what kind of topics that they can expect if they join us?
Yeah, and let us wise women advise you. Come, bring it on.
All right. So some of the topics that we will talk to you guys about is... I think one of our first topics is going to be travel. We both love travel. She's traveled a lot solo. I've traveled a fair bit solo, both work and leisure and girls trip.
I've never traveled solo.
You have traveled solo on work, haven't you? Remember when you saw ghosts?
Oh, that is all for work. Okay, not like leisure.
Yeah, I've traveled leisure solo as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, not me.
Okay. We'll talk about fashion. We'll talk about difficult stuff like love and heartbreak, divorce. We have great experience in that department, don't we?
We need more than one bottle of wine for that.
Yeah.
Losses, yes. Miscarriage.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finding your tribe in the midst of all of that. We'll talk about that.
Even losing friendships.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Gaining friendships.
Yeah, and I think in that episode, let's try and... Our aim will be to be very honest with you.
Yeah.
Frankly, not all friendships survive the test of time. Yeah. I read the other day, research, that if your friendship survives 7 years, apparently it's going to survive forever. So you and I are stuck
not true.
for life.
Not
What?
true for some.
Oh, sorry. I take that back. Research is not always right, ladies.
Yes.
Okay. Then we're going to talk about success at work and in business, right? How to achieve that. Betrayals. Ooh, spicy. Oh, I told you it was spicy, sassy, and saucy.
Yeah.
Okay. We are going to talk about tough things like depression, anxiety, how to come out of it, right? I know we have both had personal experiences of that.
Yeah. So much God has put us through.
I mean, I want to make a point, but let's just get through all the topics first. We're also going to talk about money management, one of my absolute pet favorites, how to be totally in charge of your money and feel
Empowered.
pretty damn good when you go to sleep every day. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about toxic relationships and how you do not recognize the signs first before you're in too deep. And if you are going to be listening to that episode, you may want to get the out of the toxic relationships. And we're going to talk about happy stuff as well. So,
Yeah. And how many toxic relationships have we navigated through, and also helped women get out of?
yeah. So the thing is, if you think that this is, we are Debbie Downers, we are not. The idea through all of this is to leave you with so much hope at the end of this that you would want to start your own story of resurgence. If you met us over dinner or coffee, and if we told you what we have been through, like she said, if one day we drew up a list of everything we have been through and whatever God has put us through for whatever reasons and purposes, it's a pretty damn long list. But I mean, I don't think either of us hold grudges. And I think we have learned our lessons. We are better, stronger, wiser on the other side. So our message, if you're here to, find empathy, please join us. If you're here to find strength, please join us. But if you're here to wallow in your situation, I don't think we are those people.
No, it's not going to help.
It's not going to help. We will sit with you, but we will drag you the hell out of it.
Yeah, and also please tell them about the wonderful guests that we'll be having on our podcast as well. Because
yes.
to be honest, some stories that these guests will share with us goes beyond what we have experienced ourselves.
Thank you. Always a step ahead. So it's you will not be tired of seeing just our pretty faces. I know we are very pretty, but we will also have some very select handpicked guests. Very careful about bringing them on, that we want to tell with absolute honesty, humor, and of course our trusty wine, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, do we want to tell them like what kind of guests they can expect? Like,
No, keep it a suspense.
okay, fine.
Keep it a suspense.
Fine. Okay. So through all of this, ladies, our aim will be to entertain you, to refresh you in a teeny tiny way, to inspire you and make you feel just that little bit better.
Yes.
Because that's what besties do.
Yes.
They make you feel better.
And also, I would like to add, do feel free to send us what you would like us to touch upon. Maybe there are topics that some people think that we haven't touched upon, and it's important to
100%
review it.
Yeah.
We are very open to suggestions.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like I said, just treat us as your best friends.
Yeah, very good looking best friends. I mean, I'm looking at her and look at how beautiful she is.
Thank you, eyelashes.
No, it's not the eyelashes. It must be the wine. Yeah.
Okay, glow up.
Did you ladies know? I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but like our friend here was Mrs. Singapore. Okay, she needs a break here, but she was. And did I buy you that gown? Yeah, you looked stunning in it. And then you wore it to a premiere, right? And then the traffic stopped.
Yeah, and I also want to say that is also a topic.
Is that what is?
Yeah, being part of a pageant, it's a
noting
whole
that down.
other topic.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Gossip.
I've never been part of a pageant, although I was told the other day that I could be an actress.
You have been part of a pageant. Of course you have been.
No? Oh, yes. I had put that experience so far behind in my memory, and I was like, no.
See, it could be a topic.
Okay. So I think we can bring this episode to a close. I want to tell you thank you so much for watching this or listening in or both. You can stream this podcast on the streaming platform of your choice. And we really, really, really hope that you'll expand your friend circle and you'll let us in. You will make us your besties. And trust me, we are really fun.
Yes.
And you'll have so much fun. Just join us.
Yeah.
And bring
Like,
the
share,
wine.
subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. Thank you all, and see you in the next episode of BFFs Wine and Tell. Salute. Cheers.